Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the importance of managing your customers' expectations in business-to-business sales. Now before we get started, I just want to make one point very clear. If you don't manage your customers' expectations from the outset, they're going to do it for you, okay? So it's something you got to do from the beginning of all new relationships, and it's something you got to continuously do with your customer day after day, week after week, month after month. Bottom line, it is the single most important aspect of sales success, because if you don't do it properly, your customer is going to do it for you and they're going to make you jump through hoops. So we're going to start by looking at the differences between business to a business environment versus a business to consumer environment. And the reason why I bring this up is because I've got a lot of customers that are operating in a business to business environment and are taking the mindset of a business to consumer environment, and it just doesn't work. Now, when you look at a business to consumer environment, you want to look at things like Walmart, okay? You want to look at things like a restaurant, okay? Now, think of yourself in the context of a consumer. When you go to a restaurant, you expect a certain level of service. Those prior experiences determine how you see service in that industry. So in a sense, the business to consumer environment, a lot of times the service levels are dictated by the industry itself. When you go to Walmart or any of their competitors, you're going to expect to be able to ask someone in the aisles for help, okay? So, that's the business to consumer environment. It's entirely different for a business to business environment. And the reason why that is because of size and geographical location, okay? Bottom line is, you may have a situation where you're a small company and your biggest competitor is overseas. Now, your size and geographical location has an impact on your service capabilities, okay? On the type of service that you can provide. So the reason why I bring this up is because when you manage your customers' expectations, if you don't do it properly, your customer will dictate all future terms of business, okay? But what happens is the customer comes into this new relationship with your company with this kind of a mindset. They basically come into this new relationship based on how your competitors service them, which leads us to the second point. Number 2, okay? What happens when you don't manage your customers' expectations in terms of how your customer sees it and your salespeople see it, okay? Now, when you don't manage your customers' expectations, okay, invariably what happens is the salesperson categorizes the customer as being difficult, okay? Or that they have unrealistic expectations. They basically just chalk it up to the customer being unrealistic. That guy's just asking for way too much. No company does that. That's ridiculous. Well, how can you decide that if you haven't taken the time to discuss your customer's expectations and to see if there's a fit with what your company can offer? Now, what ends up happening is, how does the customer see that? Well, the customer basically says, that's how we always do it, okay? That's how we do it, he says, okay? Bottom line, they're going to come back to you with the standard statement, well, if you want our business, you're going to do it the way we want. Okay? This happens when you don't manage your customers' expectations. And when you leave it up to chance, or you leave it up to interpretation, your customer is going to basically measure your ability to meet their expectations on how your competitors serve them. Okay? Not what your company can do. So you've got to manage your customers' expectations from the outset of the relationship. And that leads us to the third point, which is discuss your service capabilities with your customer. Okay? You want to have a free-flowing exchange of ideas between your customer and your salespeople. How can your company service its customers? What are your service competencies? Okay? What are your limitations as a company? And when you define these items, and you define them one by one, your salespeople must then have an understanding of what these service capabilities are. So when they go to manage your customers' expectations, they're not just leaving it to chance. Bottom line, you guys, managing expectations has to be done at the outset. It's got to be done continuously throughout the relationship, because if you don't do it, your customer is going to dictate everything, and it's going to put you behind the 8 ball. So that's it, managing customer expectations for business-to-business sales. Take care. Ian Johnson, driveyoursuccess.com. Bye-bye.